Hi friends, it's Nurse Ashley here from Doylestown Hospital, and I'm back with another mindful moment. I'm so excited to teach you today's lesson because it's one that I think we can all do no matter what age you are. But before we get into that, this mindfulness exercise is one that you can use not only through the month of May, but throughout the year, whenever you need it. But May, if you didn't know, is actually National Mental Health Awareness Month. And May 7th is actually National Children's Mental Health Awareness Day. Let me try that again. May 7th is actually National Children's Mental Health Awareness Day. So today we're going to learn a mindfulness exercise that can help bring you out of your brain when your thoughts are spiraling and maybe you're super worried or frustrated or angry or anxious. It brings you out of your brain spiral and back into your body. So before we learn that, we know that mindfulness is whenever we pay attention on purpose, using our senses to simply notice what's going on around us with a kind heart or in a non-judgmental way. And when we do this, when we practice mindfulness, when we bring ourselves back to the present moment by using our senses, it sort of gets us, it stops us from having those circling thoughts that can be super overwhelming sometimes, right? So we know that we have our breath and our words to help our brain and our bodies feel better. And when we practice mindfulness, we tune in to our breath and our words and our 5 senses. So as a review, we know that our 5 senses are our eyes, which we use to see, our ears, which we use to hear, our nose, which we use to smell, and our mouth, which we use to taste. And we also have our fingers and also our feet, I guess, that we use to touch, right? Because our 5 senses are seeing, hearing, feeling, smelling, tasting, and touching, right? And when we use our senses, it brings us back to the present moment because it helps us to sort of be in the present moment. What are we feeling? What are we smelling? What are we tasting? What are we touching? And when we do that, it brings us out of our brains and back into our bodies. Now, my friends, we also have our breath to help anchor us and to help ground us when we feel like we're about to blast off into outer space. If our thoughts or our worries or our emotions are all over the place, right? If we feel like we're going to be out of orbit and blast off into space, we always have our breath to serve as an anchor, right? I have my anchor right here. So, my friends, we have 3 anchor spots, and our anchor spots is anywhere you can feel the breath move in your body. So let's learn them together, shall we? Cool. All right, my friends, first things first, let's sit up tall, right? Because we're going to sit up tall, we're going to drop our shoulders, we're going to open up our chests. And my friends, I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. And now I want you to exhale out through your mouth. Awesome job. When you were breathing in through your nose, did you start to could you feel the cool air in your nose? Yeah. Our first anchor spot is actually our nose because we can feel the air move in our body through our nose. So taking a deep breath in, exhaling out through your mouth, we know our first anchor spot is our nose. Now, we have 2 more anchor spots, and the second anchor spot we have is our chest. So, my friends, I want you to put your hands over your heart or your chest, and we're sitting up tall, dropping our shoulders, opening up our chest, and taking a deep breath in through your nose, breathing in, exhaling out through your mouth. Did you notice anything happen to your hands? Did they rise and fall? Yeah. Awesome job, friends. Our chest is actually our second anchor spot because we could feel our lungs move, expand and contract, and we could feel our bodies, our chest rise and fall as we breathed in and out. So we have our nose, we have our chest, and now our third and final spot is our bellies. Yeah. So my friends, I want you to imagine that there's a balloon in your belly, and when you take a deep breath in through your nose, that balloon is going to expand. And as you exhale out through your mouth, that balloon is going to get smaller. And my friends, if you notice the rise and fall of your hands on your belly, that's the air moving in your body. So we know that we always have our breath to serve as an anchor to help ground us whenever our thoughts start to go every which direction and we feel like we're gonna blast off into outer space, right? We have our breath to anchor us, and our breath can also help our brains and our bodies feel better. So before we do this exercise, this mindfulness countdown exercise, let's review our 5 senses. We know our 5 senses are our eyes to see, our ears to hear, our nose to smell, our mouth to taste, and our hands or feet, as we mentioned before, to touch, right? So when you start to feel like you're about to blast off into outer space, if you're worried or frustrated or upset or overwhelmed, my friends, we can count down to help ground ourselves, to help anchor ourselves. Instead of counting down to blast off, this time we're going to count down to be a more calm, mindful feeling. So, are you ready? Awesome. All right, my friends, to do this mindfulness countdown, all you're going to do is you're going to take a minute. You're going to get comfortable. And I want you to tune into your shoulders, and we're going to drop our shoulders down. And we're going to open up our chest, and we're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to throw our anchor down, and we're going to use our breath to sort of help anchor us first. So you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose, and you're going to exhale out through your mouth. So, to begin our countdown, I want you to use your eyes to see 5 things around you. Got that? So we're going to use our eyes to just notice in the present moment 5 things that are around us. Awesome. You picked your 5 things? Cool. Now, we're going to use our fingers to notice 4 things that we can touch. Are you ready? I'm going to have you go ahead and touch those 4 things in front of you. Maybe you can feel the ground with your feet if you are sitting in a chair. Or maybe you feel the chair. Maybe you feel yourself sitting in the chair. Maybe you can feel the softness of your clothing or the smoothness of the desk. Whatever's in front of you, I want you to take this moment to pick out 4 things that you can touch. Got it? Awesome. Now, my friends, we are going to use our ears to listen, to hear 3 different sounds. Yep, you got that? Tuning into our ears. Maybe you can hear the traffic or a truck outside. Maybe you can hear people talking in the next room. Maybe you hear some music. What do you hear? What are 3 things that you hear right now? Cool. Awesome. All right. So we've seen 5 things we can see, 4 things we can touch, 3 things that we can hear. And now I want you to tune into your nose. And I just want you to notice 2 different smells. Can you smell 2 different things? Now, we know when we practice mindfulness with a kind heart or in a non-judgmental way. And there's all different kinds of smells. But we're not going to be unkind about what we're smelling, right? But we're just going to simply notice the smells around us. Maybe you can smell food cooking in the kitchen. Or maybe you can smell flowers if you're around any flowers. But I'm curious. What are 2 things that you're smelling right now? we've counted down and we're down to our final one. My friends, I want you to take a moment and to tune in to your mouth. And I want you to tune in to see if you can taste anything in your mouth. Maybe you can taste toothpaste if you just brushed your teeth, or you brushed your teeth earlier today. Maybe you can still taste food from a snack that you had earlier. Just notice, is there anything that you can taste in your mouth? Yeah, great job. So my friends, what we just did was we practiced mindfulness, because we know that mindfulness is whenever we pay attention on purpose, using our senses to just simply notice what's going on around us in the present moment with a kind heart or in a non-judgmental way. And when we notice what's happening around us in the present moment, it brings us out of our brains and back into our bodies. It can help ground us in the present moment. So the next time that you maybe feel like you're about to blast off, whether you're frustrated or worried or anxious or overwhelmed, we know that we always have our mindful countdown to help count down to a more grounded and calm state. So to do that, in the moment, we use our breath as an anchor, taking a deep breath in through our nose, exhaling out through our mouth, and we notice 5 things we can see, 4 things we can touch, 3 things that we can hear, 2 things that we can smell, and 1 thing that we can taste. And when we tune into our senses, it brings us out of our brains, back into our bodies, so we're ready to tackle whatever comes our way in a more grounded and calm state. Thanks so much for learning with me today. I hope you have a wonderful day.